Bros and Balance, embracing life, one convo at a time. I'm Gibrann, and welcome to the podcast where we dive into the strength of open dialogue among friends. Join us as we explore life's challenges and occasionally bring in guest speakers for candid conversations. Here, guys can be authentic, unfiltered, and free from judgment.
My name is Miguel. Welcome, gentlemen, to a space where we encourage open, honest conversations about life's challenges, triumphs, and everything in between.
My name is Robert. Together we'll explore a wide range of topics from relationships and personal development to career challenges and mental well-being.
Yo, what up, everyone out there? What up, guys? It's another episode of Bros and Balance. One combo at a time, embracing life. You know how we do. Coming back with the hot stuff, the juicy combos.
This one's gonna be juicy.
Yo, we're excited for this one. We got something planned.
Yeah.
Something juicy planned for this one. But guys, as we always do, we always just kick it off with how you guys been? How you guys doing? What's new?
I've been good. I actually listened to the episode 1 a couple times.
You actually listen? I hope you did.
No. Wait, you're right. I listened to it.
We need them views, bro.
I liked it, man. And I hope all of you enjoyed listening and got something out of Tyler's story, because it's a powerful story. And I think you had mentioned in the episode too that, you know, we see him a little bit differently, right? And have a lot of respect for him, and not like we didn't before, but it just, man, you just never know what people go through prior to where they're at in the moment. So it was awesome story. But other than that, things are good. I went snowboarding Monday morning, had a nice little session there at Brighton. And things are going okay, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what's sad? Snowboarding season's coming to an end.
Dude, it's almost over.
When does it come to an end?
Probably at the end of this month.
They
right?
released the closing dates today for most of the resorts. Some of them are starting to close at the end of this month, some next month, and I think Snowbird's closing in June.
What the heck?
They always do. They got the most snow.
Bro, I only got to snowboard once.
Well, the season's not over.
That's so whack, bro.
Yeah, you could probably get like an end of season pass.
Yeah, you can get better deals now.
Yeah, everything's a little bit more discounted because it's almost over.
Is there still snow there to snowboard?
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
for sure. A
Yeah.
lot. There's
Especially
probably
in the
more snow
practice
now
areas.
than when you went.
So why did they close it early?
Because spring's coming. It's gonna start getting warmer
At
and
some
it's gonna
point.
start melting. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
But not everything's been good. Like everything's been, like you said, that episode with Tyler. Like, yeah, that was crazy. Thank you, Tyler, for taking the time
Thank you,
to
dude.
do this for us and sharing your story. But yeah, it was a very touching episode, and I think we have another good one today. We'll see. But yeah,
today's making it a little wild.
it might get a little while. You're right. What's new with you?
Yeah, what's up with you, bro?
Well, been not doing much
How was
because I don't get invited to go snowboard.
Oh, BS. Oh, BS.
But I went shooting.
This guy would rather go shooting than come with us.
We blew up some tannerite.
You blew up
Some
what?
Tannerite?
What is
What's
that?
It's like explosives,
You
Yeah.
Like TNT?
like bombs,
kinda.
little
Huh.
bombs.
Yeah, like little ones. Like you
No
get a pound, you get 2 pounds, 3 pounds, up to 5 pounds, I think.
Okay.
And we're gonna put it into a stove, but we're like, no,
What the heck,
bro. We blew that. I blew it up. My friend let me blow it up, and it made a hole in the floor. That was pretty crazy.
Where did
That's
you guys?
cool.
So I put it in the
That's pretty
video.
cool.
I don't know if you guys saw it, but you see the explosion looked small, but it was pretty big. It like broke rocks and everything around it.
That's
Damn, dude.
that's really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Easy with those explosives.
Yeah, and I got a sight now on my gun, so it's like, bro, I was not missing at all.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That
It's
makes a
spot
huge
on,
difference,
bro.
bro.
With a
But-
pistol too.
the
Forget about
Holosun, like you can put that because I have one, so I can just probably put it on my pistol also.
Yeah,
They're not
Yeah.
different sizes.
you just got to make sure that if say your gun requires a certain plate to adjust it,
That's probably what it is.
that you have that plate on there. You have a Glock, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, usually when you buy the Glock, it comes with the case, the
The
plates.
plate.
Or
That's
you can have one of those that don't require it, but the Holosun requires the plate.
Yeah.
There's some sites that don't, and you just put it on.
Bro, I have that thing on my AR, so it's fun, dude, to not miss
Bro.
with AR. Bing, bing, bing.
And it's solar powered too. and
Yeah.
it wakes,
It's cool, man.
it turns on its own.
Yeah.
Sick.
Well, snowboarding season's coming to an end, so we'll be going shooting. With
Yo,
tomorrow,
you guys need to say, "Gee, we're going this day at this time. You better come through."
dude, we go every weekend.
Yeah, you see,
Miguel goes
that-
every weekend.
But that
Miguel goes every
that doesn't really like tell me.
Because usually we just wing it, but usually
Yeah.
it's like 6.
If you wake up and you're like, "Yo, we're going," just shoot me a text.
all right. Next time I'll
And-
call you until you answer.
No, just text me, bro. I don't pick up my phone calls, bro.
But if it's me, you better pick up.
I mean, if it's you guys, I'll probably think
You'll
something's
know-
happening,
you'll know what's
something's
happening,
important,
yeah.
something's urgent. Because you guys never.
I
call
will
me.
record me calling him and him not picking up, so you
Oh,
guys
we'll
can
post
see.
it. Yo, word. We need that evidence, that
Yeah.
proof.
Like I called him, he didn't answer.
Bro, I'm scared though. I don't want to bust my butt.
Nah, you'll be okay. Just stay in the practice area, man.
Yeah,
Learn how to do that stuff.
I need
first.
the master Jedi here to teach
Yeah.
his.
Who? Wait, who's
You,
Master
bro.
Jedi? On what? On snowboarding? Oh
Yeah,
hell no,
bro.
dude. I'm not. He's a
I
master
could be your
Jedi.
Padawan.
I'm
Yes,
okay.
Teach me,
Speedster over
teach me
here.
the ways.
It's like,
Teach me
Where'd Robert go?
the secrets.
We did do some black. I mean, you've been doing some blacks too, so which is
Yeah.
cool.
It's not. It's scary though.
Yeah.
At times.
But it's nice that like we're at that point
yeah.
that we can do more difficult runs
Yeah.
now. Because the easy stuff.
When I
is
first
like-
started, I was like, never in my life will I be able to do that.
Yeah, me too. I thought it would take me forever because it's
does.
scary to think about. Because it really is kind of dangerous, bro. Like,
Bro,
the harder stuff.
I was telling Robert, I'm like, yo, why they call it blacks, bro? That's mad racist.
Black diamonds. Black diamonds.
Bro, that's they gotta change that up.
What would you call them? The
Dirty
most
snow
difficult
or
runs.
something. I
Dirty
don't know.
snow.
Well, they do it by color. I mean,
yeah, it's
they could be
blues,
reds.
green. They
Reds
Could,
would probably be like.
they
There
could
was-
be reds. They should
Yeah,
be reds.
they should.
There was a
Not blacks.
comedian that he would make fun of like anything that they label black, and he was like, the only good thing that we have is Black Friday.
That's messed up,
And that's not even the thing anymore. Now it's like Black November. And it's like discounts every day.
bro. For real.
It is.
All
Everything's
month
online
long.
now.
All
yeah.
month long.
Cyber
And at
Monday.
Cyber Monday.
yeah.
And Amazon has, I think, its own Prime Day.
Yeah, Prime
all
Day.
sorts of
And
crazy
don't they have like
things now.
3 Prime Days a year or something like
That's
that?
ridiculous.
And then there's
Crap.
Black Ice. I think it was a Key and Peele episode.
Really,
Bro, those guys are hilarious.
dude, I love Kid.
It's like, why is everything bad gotta be black? Black Ice. Black something else. I forgot what, but that was hilarious.
No, the Black Diamonds aren't bad. They're just
They're
you have-
just
you have to
steeper. You just have to
know
know
what
how
you're
to
doing.
maneuver.
Yeah, I'm not doing that, bro.
Well, not yet.
That sounds scary.
Next
You
year.
can get there though, because we thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I want to start playing soccer again, man. My Achilles is not 100%, but
Don't do it.
I really want to play, man. I just can't stay away, man.
Just be careful.
Sucks, bro.
I know. I'm just thinking I'm just gonna play with my other foot the whole time, which I
It's
can,
dangerous.
but
What if you strap it up?
why? I tried doing that last time, and it helped a little bit, but I'm gonna have to do that again today. I kind of want to. I wish I had like a personal trainer at home that could wrap my ankle up every time.
Tell Irene.
I know. It's also
one
like
of the
timing.
kids.
Like I get out of work and I'll have to go to my game, so I can't
Yeah.
really
That's true.
tighten it up that well myself. But we'll see, man. I'm considering it. I might just try next week, see how it goes. Kind of take it easy, but I really want to play again, man.
Just take it easy. That's the thing. But
How's
yeah.
your leg been? Your leg has been kind of messed up too, right?
My hamstring.
Your hamstring, yeah,
Yeah, but no, bro. I've been hitting the gym,
yeah.
just doing leg workouts nonstop, and I haven't had any hamstring injuries or anything.
That's good.
Bro, strengthening is the key.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Because
do
we
that
sit
at
down all day, bro. It's like you have to work on your legs.
Yeah. We have to bring back squat o'clock.
Squat o'clock.
Squats are good, bro. And I saw this video that even said it's even better for women because it just helps with the muscles and everything in the pelvic area and everything.
Well, that makes sense.
Strengthens that. So when they give birth, it's just easy for them.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Bro, and the other thing I was gonna tell you guys, calf muscles important. I was seeing this video that talked about how the calf muscle is compared to the heart.
Did I send you guys that video?
I think I sent it to you guys, or I don't know.
I don't know.
Somebody must.
Somebody
I've
sent
seen it. Though.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Yeah, that it's the second heart and it helps with reducing varicose veins or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, really?
And it
Yeah.
pumps the blood from your calf back up to your
Yeah, so
body.
they recommend like for people that are older that are struggling with that to even jump on a trampoline to help strengthen your calf muscles because it helps pump the blood up through the
You know,
body.
now that you say that, every time, the last few times that we've been going snowboarding and we've been doing like harder things, when I come here, when we get home and like I start like taking off my socks and everything, like, dude, my like I'd never seen them before, but my calf, like it had my veins are like popping on there. Like it's like I was like, dang, dude, but
Like
yeah.
a good thing.
Like a good
Okay.
thing, yeah. Like
'cause you just had a
when you just
workout.
worked
You just
out,
worked
yeah. But
out,
like
yeah.
it's never like done that on my calf muscles before. But I guess it's true. So,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Calf raises are good for that. I've been doing a ton of that, trying to get my Achilles to strengthen.
You work that
too.
a lot on the
I don't know why I
snowboard
just
too.
touched
Yeah.
my wrist.
Yo, bro, my calf was burning that first day,
Yeah.
and I was just going up the hill with the
Just a little baby hill.
just going up, walking up, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. But yeah, my calves look like a heart. It just looks like a heart muscle, and I was like, that makes so much sense.
We need a picture, and you're gonna have to post it.
And-
Are you gonna put a picture of your calves?
A picture of your heart.
Oh my God.
calf heart calves.
That's funny, dude.
Yeah, bro.
That's funny.
But yeah, that's been pretty much it.
That's good, man.
Yeah,
Glad you had fun shooting. That's cool.
that was
And
fun.
blowing stuff.
And then
up.
we had some bomb tacos. Oh man, and Orem. So if you guys want, I don't know if we want to promote them here, but
But
they're really
hit us up
good
if you
in
guys
Orem.
wanna know.
Yeah,
Hit us up
maybe
in the
you can talk
DM.
to them.
Oh, DM, hit us up in
Yeah.
the comment section.
Maybe you can talk to them and ask them if they
Yeah.
want to
We'll-
want us
we'll-
to promote them.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Heck yeah! I went to a spot in a Mexican spot in where did I tell you guys over the weekend? Sugar House, because we went to the Natural History Museum, which was cool. I had never been there.
That's
Have you guys
cool.
been there before?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. With my
It's nice.
kids
It's nice.
for their school trip.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We'll have to go.
Yeah.
Let's plan it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So what's up? You guys ready to jump in and talk about love?
Ooh.
Talk about relationships?
What's love?
Got to do with it.
That's my favorite song right
Karaoke
there.
session.
Really?
Let's do
Yeah.
it though.
Let's do it, man.
It's what the people have been asking for, so here it is.
So love and relationships. When we think about relationships, what comes to mind, man?
Loyalty. Love,
Okay.
teamwork.
Yeah,
Takes
And-
two to tango.
for sure.
What are some of the things that people have told you guys about relationship, like before you got into committed ones? Like I'm even like picturing my mom like giving me advice when I was a teenager.
Your mom
What
was
did
probably
people
like,
say?
No seas pendejo.
No seas pendejo was a good one.
My mom was like,
Pórtate
don't fall in love yet. Go to school.
right.
Finish school.
We did all the opposites.
No vas a tener bebé.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
No, but I think as when you're young, you have a very different perception of what a relationship should be versus
totally.
versus now. I would say in my case, for example, I would say when I was young, like you have no idea. You have no idea what a relationship is, how a relationship should work, like what it entails. But like, I mean, I'm sure we've all had like failed relationships, at one point. And then you just as the more, I don't want to make it sound like the more relationships you have, but like the more you grow up and like, life throws different curveballs at you. It's like you learn by them. So it's relationships is one of those things that I feel like you constantly have to be working on. You can never like let your foot off the gas on that, because otherwise it just, it just sinks. It crashes. But I don't know. What do you think?
Damn, that's good. I love that you said that it's you have this perspective of relationships when you're younger versus even like through my teenage years, being in relationships then and thinking I had a grasp on what relationships were, and even that, like all that shit went out the window. Like once you get married and once you're in a like committed relationship, it's not the same. And I've learned that things are just different. Everything is different from, just the good stuff, the bad stuff, like learning how to manage that stuff. And for me, I've had a lot of people in my life, man, that have helped me through my marriage, whether it be like when things are going well or when things are going bad, reaching out to people like, hey, I don't know what I messed up. I did XYZ wrong. What do I do? How do I get out of this situation? What can I do to make things better? There was a time that before we got married, we took a premarital course to try to understand everything from A to Z, man, from talking
that's
about
cool.
finances to
Oh, that's
how to
important.
handle fighting, right? And that was big for us, man. We learned a lot. One of the things that stuck with me from that I learned from that class, that the gentleman that was leading this class said, was don't go to sleep like fighting, arguing.
Bro, what class you took? Because that sounds like a really good class.
Yeah, dude, it was at a church that we were going to in Cali, man, and don't go to sleep fighting.
Yeah.
And he even said, even if you are, as a man, if you know you are right, you should still apologize first.
Right.
And I was like, dang, why would I apologize first? You know, that's like that ego, that pride. So that's one
Somebody
thing
has to.
yeah, somebody has to break that ice.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I learned, that look, like, I don't want to go to sleep not talking.
Right.
So I'm going to apologize for my part in whatever happened and try to move forward from that. I mean, I've learned a ton. I mean, like, I think this episode is going to be a good one because we're going to have a lot to talk about. But that was one of the things that I took away.
I've seen that sign. Like I've heard of that too. I didn't take a class, but like, don't go to sleep or don't go to bed mad. And a lot of people have that. I think they even sell those things like online that you can like post them
Like
up
a
on
little wall.
top of your bed. Like, yeah, like, or always kiss goodnight.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like no matter what, like always kiss goodnight. Like that's, and I mean, I try to live kind of by that in a way, but I think it works. Because if you go to bed mad or like fighting, the next day is just gonna be hell, dude.
Yeah.
Like you guys didn't solve anything.
Or you lose sleep.
Right. And then you're sleep deprived, stressed out, and mad. So it's like right. You could have just
Resentment.
hugged it out.
Yeah.
Bro, that's so true, bro. And I don't know, man. I think another one to add to that is if you're in a religious group, that a lot of the things one of the major things that is always recommended is prayer, you know, couples prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So you pray together right before you go to sleep. It's always helpful.
So I want to ask you guys something. I know before we jump into the next question, but on that I want to kind of dive a little bit deeper into that first question. So what would you say the biggest difference is for you guys? 16-year-old Robert, 16-year-old Gibrann, like, you know, what would you call a successful relationship back then versus what you would call a successful relationship now?
That's a hard question.
Bro, I don't know. I'm probably the wrong person to ask that question because 16-year-old Gibrann wasn't thinking. I mean, maybe I was thinking clear at that age.
But let's not say 16. Like first relationship versus now.
Still,
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you, bro. I think for me, it was more selfish.
Right.
I was a very selfish person for a very, 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 very long time. So a successful relationship for me back then would have been anything that made Robert happy,
Right.
anything that pleased Robert, regardless of what that may have been, regardless of who I would have hurt. Robert,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. Now, successful relationship is being of service to make the other person happy.
There you go.
Yeah, for me. I mean, obviously, I think, and people have said this before, and this is probably another one of those things you could put on the wall: happy wife, happy life, kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Get a tattoo.
bro, so that was it. That change, understanding that it's not just me,
Mm-hmm.
like it's another person. So again, like I've always said, I'm not perfect, man. I still make a ton of mistakes, but knowing and understanding that it's not about me.
But I think you hit the nail right on the head on that, because that's kind of what I was not like, you know, not the correct answer, but I think most of us, or if not all of us, and maybe, you know, people out there too, like when you're young, it's all about you.
Yeah.
It's like, what makes me happy? What do I want to do? And does this person fit that equation? And if it doesn't, you kick them to the curb and you move on, right? It's easy to do that.
Yeah.
Whether you're hurting that other person or not, like you don't think about that. You're just thinking about yourself.
Yeah.
it's all about instant gratification.
Right. Exactly. And then as you get older, you know, you obviously life has taught you some lessons, and like you said, like now it's all about making it work, making that person happy, and at the same time that makes you happy. You know, it's like you become a team.
Correct.
Versus back then it was you guys each had your own separate lives, and if it worked, it worked, and if it didn't, it didn't.
Yo, I straight up look up to people who have that type of mindset from the beginning. It's like, dang, like I look back now and I wish I could be like that, right? So I don't know how they do it. Some people are just built like that, and I've grown to learn that you grow or you're born into a personality, and you learn and you stumble and you fall along the way, and then you learn from that, and then you pick yourself back up, rebuild, and all that. But yeah, I look up to people like that. So whoever's watching that you can relate to that, kudos to you.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Some people have it.
Definitely a skill.
The rest of us have to learn.
Sometimes the hard way, man.
Yeah, sometimes the hard way, very hard.
Yeah, we're stubborn. Well, I'm stubborn.
And then there's people that never learn. You know, I don't think that's any of us here, but like, if it is, that's okay. Like, you just don't. I don't know. It's just not for you. You know, that's fine. Not everybody has to be in a successful relationship. If you're happy being alone, be alone. Like,
yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
okay.
That's totally fine.
Exactly. Love yourself, right? And
you have to be in a relationship with yourself. I love that you said that. Love yourself. Yeah.
But going back to your question though, when I was 16, I was thinking a little bit clearer. It was until I got into my later ages when I started drinking and going down the wrong path that things started changing. But when I was that age, I was in church and I met my wife, and I was thinking, first off, she's beautiful. Second off, she's faithful in the church. Third off, she's going to be a great mother. And then fourth off, she's super loyal. Like, I didn't even have to like know her like that to know that she was loyal. And those were the main things that called my attention at that time. And still do. But at that time, at that age.
Right.
And I was stubborn. I was selfish, like we said. And then I made errors, mistakes. And then I learned from them. Our relationship kind of shattered, burned down. And then we rebuild. And I don't know. A lot of the times when I hear about successful relationships, I think about, from people that I've known and I've met, they share those things with me. And then it's always like they all go through similar things.
Correct.
And I think those are the most successful ones, the ones that fall down and rebuild and are still together.
Yeah.
So I love that. I think this transition to the next question is conflict and how to handle conflict in relationships, because you said it like that. You've known people who are like, you tell them your story, you tell them you're like, wow, we had a very similar situation, right? We went through something very similar. So how do you guys handle conflict or disagreements, and how do you maintain respect for the other person during those times?
That's a good question. Want to take a stab at it?
I feel like when there's conflict between me and my spouse and I really think that most of the time is me on the issue, because I don't know. I feel like throughout our history, my wife has always had a good intuition to know what is right and what is wrong, and know what is good and what is bad for me. And I always lean towards doing the bad, doing the wrong. And so whenever there was a conflict, it was because of a direction I was heading or a choice I was making that may have impacted her and our kids or myself specifically, and I wasn't seeing it that way. So when conflicts do come up, I tend now to kind of try to understand and put myself in her shoes, and not, again, think in that selfish way to say me, but in reality, what is my actions doing that, or what is this whole conflict causing that's harming others around me or myself? And that's usually what the conflicts we've experienced in our relationship is. Things that I'm doing that are not either appropriate or not good for our family or not good for myself, that are impacting others. Now that I kind of reflect back and look at that, like, I can't think of any conflict that she's brought to me that wasn't from a result of something I've done or I'm doing.
So to kind of add to that, based off of that original question, how do you maintain respect?
So controlling my anger.
Okay.
that's number one for me because I have anger issues, or I've had anger issues. Now I'm more calm, more chill. I've gone to anger management. I'm currently seeing a therapist. So my anger has been switched around in the sense that I've realized and accepted it and understand that I do have that issue, and I now calm myself down before I get to that point.
What are some things that help you calm down?
I, for one, separate myself from the situation or the conflict for a moment so I could decompress a little bit and kind of think through what my next words are going to be or my reaction is going to be.
Okay.
And because I was so reactive at certain points that I didn't think about the words I was saying and how hurtful they were. So that's number one, stepping away from the situation, biting down on my tongue if needed. I mean, I don't,
not physically.
Yeah, not physically, but just not saying the things that
physically.
not speaking when I'm in that type of reactive mode.
Okay.
But other than that, just simple things, breathing, trying to understand where the emotions are coming from, and getting in my head and really just relaxing, knowing that I don't have to respond right there in that moment. The world is not ending.
Right.
Dang.
Take my time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the first thing I could think of that helps me to relax and show that respect.
That's good.
And again, to show the respect, I have to think about who is this person that I'm talking to as well. And that's my spouse, bro, like my wife. Like at the end of the day, if things work out and we stay together, that's who I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. She's also the mother of my kids.
Right.
So now I'm doing better at thinking about, okay, this is someone that my kids love, and therefore I need to respect her because she's not someone that is just anyone. She's the mother of my kids and my wife, and therefore I should always keep that in mind when having conversations with her, because my kids are looking at us and they're looking at us as the examples.
Right.
So I don't want any guy now to come into my daughter's life and treat them in any bad way.
That's exactly it. Because they say that they go look for somebody that's very similar, right? Or they kind of get into relationships that are similar to what they see in their parents.
That's what I hear too.
That's what I hear.
You would think
I don't know.
you would think like, oh yeah, I don't want a guy like that if he treats mom bad, right?
But they don't like. It's not something that they go and choose. It just kind of happens.
It just attracts.
Because it's kind of what they
attract
know.
that kind of energy. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've heard, man. I mean, I don't have any scientific background to prove that something like that is true.
So yeah, I've heard that too, and that's why like I try to keep that in mind as much as I can, because if I do that in front of them, or even behind closed doors, I don't want to do it, right? Because maybe it's just something about karma, in the sense that if you do it, it's gonna maybe be done to your daughters in the future.
Right.
Sure. Good. What about you, Miggy?
Can you repeat the question?
Conflict.
Yeah.
How do you handle conflict, disagreements,
Okay.
and how do you show respect during those times where you don't necessarily agree with something, right?
So you said it earlier a little bit, like sometimes somebody has to give in. Like most of the times it's us. Sometimes it's them, which is fine. Either way, it doesn't matter. But one of the biggest things that I feel like is crucial when you're fighting or when you're going through some conflict of any kind is to never lose respect for each other. That is like my number one rule.
Okay.
And that has been my number one rule in pretty much in every relationship I've had is we can fight. Let's go at it. Like we want to fight, let's fight. But like never ever disrespect each other. Like when we start, if there's insults that start coming out, like I'll walk away. Like, if I'm the one, like if I insult, if I say throw out a name or whatever, like right there, I know I've lost it. It's like, okay, like nah, like back up. Like that's not what this is about. And also like they know it's like, it's like we can be fighting, but if you insult me in any way with your words, like I'm done. Like keep your fight, you know, like you won, whatever, like you lose me. So because I feel like if you lose a respect for each other, insulting each other is the first, like the first thing that we do. I feel like as humans, when you're angry at somebody, is like you start calling them like F you, this, that, whatever, you know, you start throwing swear words at them or whatever. And if you do that, it's like, why? Like, what's the point here anymore? You know, like what's next? We're gonna start fighting, fist fight? Like, what the hell? So that's one thing. That's always been my number one. Was like, whenever we argue, let's just not insult each other. Like, don't insult me. I won't insult you. We can argue. That's fine. We can agree to disagree. We, you know, there's gonna be things that you don't agree for. You know, you don't agree with, and there's gonna be things that they don't agree with. So, some like again, sometimes somebody has to give in, or you agree to disagree. But the biggest thing is respect to me, dude. It's like, if you don't have that respect while you're fighting, then you probably don't have that respect in your relationship at all. And if you can have respect while you're fighting, I think it's a really strong commitment to each other as well, that okay, we're mad at each other, but we're gonna be civilized, you know. Sometimes you have to walk away, like you say, you know, you have to remove yourself from the equation, like the situation. I've done that many times. Sometimes we're fighting, I'm like, I just gotta, you know, either she goes, I gotta go for a walk, or I go for a walk, or whatever, you know, like we just have to step away because it's gonna get ugly. Think about it, recollect your thoughts, like you said, put yourself in their shoes and see, why are they reacting like that, and why am I reacting like that? And then usually when you come back together, you guys can just talk about it. Like I feel like we do that a lot. Like in my current relationship, is like we can usually, you know, we can go for hours fighting, we can go for hours ignoring each other or whatever, but we have never gone overnight like that, because like we were talking earlier, you don't go to bed mad. Like we can go to bed kind of like annoyed at each other kind of thing, but like we're gonna be okay. We're gonna sleep in the same bed. You know, you don't have to talk to me, you don't have to hug me, you don't have to kiss me, but we're gonna be in the same bed. We're gonna say goodnight, and that's it. Like, but when you lose that, I feel like it's the beginning of the end. Like it's like, you know, in previous relationships I haven't been like that, and I feel like it just takes off from there. And it's just like, now we fought yesterday, let's say, and we didn't, you know, we slept in separate rooms, and then tomorrow comes and we're still mad at each other, and tomorrow comes, and then next thing you know, it's a week and you haven't talked to each other. Like, what the hell? Why? In most fights, I think you can resolve them once your head cools down a little bit, and you just have to talk about it. Like, talk about it, listen,
Yeah.
and have the other person listen, and come to a conclusion, whether you guys agree or not. Agree to disagree, that's okay. So that's my thought.
I like that. That's really good.
I'm like winded over here.
It's a good thought.
What about you?
Man, just like you guys, and just like you were saying too, like I think I've handled conflict differently over the years, and I myself used to get really, really upset, and I'm a control freak, and I think I'm less of it now than I was before, but I wanted things done my way or the fucking highway.
Right.
Like if it didn't go my way, then I'd get really upset. And if my partner or whoever I was dating, or now my wife, like if she didn't agree, then I would get really upset. Luckily I'm not in that space anymore, but now I and also because we have kids, like for me, one, I don't want to argue in front of the kids because I don't want them to see that. They may hear some discussion that could potentially come a little heated or heightened, but in that moment we're like, let's have this conversation later, or let's talk about this, you know, once the kids are in bed. I feel like it's been a minute since my wife and I have actually had a strong disagreement, which I'm so grateful for.
That's
man.
good.
So I can't really, I can think about stuff in the past, but as of late, I know we've disagreed on things, maybe disagreed on, you know, maybe a punishment for one of our, or not a punishment, but a consequence for one of the kids, or how to handle finances for a certain thing. But we usually still figure out how to come together, and it's all because of conversation and communication, and having that, okay, there's a problem right here, so let's sit down and let's both look at that problem together.
Right.
And then, okay, we need to come to a solution, right? And we need to figure this out. And it's taken a lot of practice for us to get to that point where we can see the problem and not necessarily see each other in that problem, but kind of step away and try to figure this out and fix that. Because like you said, man, I was at a point where I would do that, where we would get upset, I would yell, I would call her names. And a lot of that was when I was drinking, man. And even shortly after, not understanding how to fully cope with my emotions whenever I was feeling anxious, maybe stressed out, tired, angry, not knowing how to handle those emotions that would control me, consume me, and then I would lash out. But that's one of the biggest things for me too, man. I don't want to be. It's funny because Irene and my wife and I, we curse a lot, but whenever we're arguing, if one of us curses at each other, that's like you've crossed the line,
right?
You know, so it's weird because
you're starting to disrespect each other. And
but when we're good, we're still kind of so like we kind of like cuss, bro, and like. So it just feels weird. Like when you're arguing, we're like, no, that's not.
That's when you know it gets serious.
That's when you know you get serious. When
you can say fuck, but you can say fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's different.
Yeah, that's different. Exactly. That's way different. Like, hold up a second.
Yeah,
you crossed the line. We're not doing that anymore.
Right.
So that's definitely something that I don't do. Like I at least definitely try not to do.
True.
Like I'm not gonna cuss at you. I'm not gonna call you names. You're the mother of my children, right? I want my boys to respect you. Damn, you taking off the tie, bro.
About to get
heated. Like, hold on.
The conversation
We're not having a conflict.
crazy.
We're not having a conflict.
about to get in the
This
conflict.
conversation.
Woo!
No, but you said something there that I wanted to like kind of touch on. Sorry, I didn't know if you were,
No, it's
if
all
you were
good,
done
man.
with your thought or not. But
No, it's all good.
You said communication, and that's the thing. Communication is key.
Yeah.
And communication is one thing that I have always struggled with. Like I still struggle with it at times. Like I've gotten better, but if you ask anybody previously to my current relationship, my communication was shit. Like it was non-existent, and I feel like that's leads to a lot of issues, problems, things that you guys things that are
Misunderstandings.
swept under the rug. Like you fight, you don't talk about it, and then you just like move on. And it's like
That causes resentment.
That just causes resentment. And then that's when you guys fight again. All
You
that
bring
shit
it
comes
back.
back out. So it's like, why?
Yeah.
Why not just resolve it now and like move on, and that's one thing that it takes practice. It takes a lot of work and it's not easy.
Well, it's one thing too that I know for men is easier to do than it is for women.
Right.
And there may be women who are easy to forget and move on, but it's like if you then cause something to trigger that to
Right.
reopen that wound, then
they'll bring it back up.
it would come back up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but sorry, Miguel.
No, you're good.
finishing your thought.
That's what
I kind of
forgot
want
what
to
I
jump on that.
Yeah.
Where you just said is holding on to that resentment. And you say that I think as men, it's easier for us to kind of get over stuff and to let things go. But how do you guys handle that resentment? Things that because the resentment is real. That feeling is a real feeling. How do you let go of things? What makes it easy for you to let go of things?
It's like the saying of drowning in a glass of water, right? So to me, in reality, if I have a bigger perspective on life, knowing that there's more life beyond this one, then this is just punitive to what's to come. And so if we're fighting over who left the chanclas on the floor, sandals,
Pick up your
Right.
chanclas, bro.
right? Or
Dude,
who didn't wash
those
the
chanclas are dangerous.
who didn't wash the plate,
Yeah.
that's a little dumb things. And so you think about, okay, what's the true conflict? Okay, if it's something that I caused, then I need to accept it. In other words, people say man up to it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It doesn't have to only be a man, but
Right.
that's usually what it comes down to. It's like somebody's got to own up to it, take ownership, and move on. But in most cases, I've been, maybe in my experience specifically and personally, I've been the culprit of the one who caused the issues in the marriage, in the relationship. So now I feel like I have a lot to make up for. So when there is conflict and or something gets triggered, then I have to own up to that and say, well, I get where you're coming from. I caused you a lot of hurt in the past. And now I need to accept it, deal with it, and see if there's repairing we can do or if I could help repair that. So it's a constant work that I'm putting in to make up for what I've done, paying off my debt and all that. So, that's where I'm at. Not everyone's like that. And again, I kudos to those marriages and relationships that are out there that have started from square one and have never messed up. But in my personal experience, I've messed up a ton. And at this point, I've owned up to it. I've I've been open and honest with my spouse about a lot of the things that I've been going through. And all the things that I've done in my past. And so, that opened up new wounds and stuff like that at this current moment. So it's just like, I had to get it off my chest. Some people have told me, Gibrann, you should have just kept that and taken it to the grave.
But that causes a lot of stress and anxiety that you don't need to be carrying on to.
Yeah, and it's just, again, like my spouse would bring it up, and I would still recently keep lying about it. And it's just like, I can't. Like, it's like you said, it's like I'm lying to her. It's not me being honest to myself. I feel like a phony. I feel like a fake. So that's it. I need to come clean. Here's what it is. Laid it all put all my cards open on the table. That's it. No more lies. Because I want to start clean slate. I don't want to keep lying for the rest of my life. So in doing that, that opened up a lot of wounds from the past. And, now I'm dealing with the consequences. They say, like, there's consequences to all the sins you've done in the past or all the mistakes you've done. There's always going to be a consequence. And, it's not for me to determine when those consequences are done. Yeah, okay, I admitted it. But at this point, I need to pay for what I've done.
Yeah, it takes time.
And it takes time
for people to heal too.
That. Life will come and get their money back. They'll collect on that debt. Life collects on the debt that you, like you said, your sins or whatever you're gonna pay for eventually, one way or another. We all will.
Yeah,
it's part of it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to divert from the question for a second though, because you said something, and you've said it, I think, a couple of times now, and I appreciate that you're willing to accept. And this is not coming at you or anything. This is I'm gonna tie it back down to something about me, but you said, like, most of the fights, if not all of the fights that you've had with your spouse are because of you. And sure, maybe you're the one that messed up and did the damage. But in a relationship, it's not one person's fault, dude. Like, and the way I wanna put this out here is, I've had a relationship where I made somebody feel like that it was always their fault. You know what I mean? And it's like, it was never my fault. They're the ones screwing up. This is your fault. This happened because of your fault, because of what you did, because of this, because of the other. And it's a bunch of bullshit, dude. Like, I'm gonna be straight up with you, because, like, right now, I'm like, now that I look back at those times, I'm like, nah, that was not always her fault or their fault. It takes two of us to make this relationship work. And if one person's giving it 100 and one person's giving it nothing, that relationship's never gonna work. And I'm not saying your spouse's job is to say, oh, Gibrann, you're okay, what you did is forgiven or whatever, and that's fine if they do that. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like that your spouse or your significant other's job in that situation is understand why you did what you did and try to help you to not make those same mistakes again, because it hurts her, it hurts them, it hurts you, it hurts your family, it hurts everything. So it's not just your fault. It takes two. A relationship is two people. So if the other person is not taking the time to understand you or to try to put themselves in your shoes of why you did certain things, and I say that in my own point of view, because I didn't do that. I didn't try to understand why it happened. And now that I look at it again, of things that have happened in previous relationships, I'm like, I probably would have done the same thing if I was being treated like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it takes two to tango. And I appreciate that you're trying to take the blame for everything, but I don't think that's right either. You know,
I
because
kinda have to-
it's not just your fault.
I have to agree to a capacity there too, because as you're talking, I'm thinking about recovery, and I'm thinking about the programs that I've been through and how me as an addict going in, right, being the problem, being the one who caused all the shit to go crazy, I get my recovery, but we also bring in the support.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start to go through their own recovery from us or whatever. But as they go through their journey, they also realize that there's things that they need to work on.
Mm-hmm.
They also realize that there's stuff that has come up in their own lives, whether in the past when they were kids or during the time that, us as addicts did something to hurt them and whatever. There's a lot that needs to be unpacked.
A lot.
And, I feel like I can speak a little bit for my wife in this sense that she has even mentioned this in meetings that we've been through, that at the beginning it was Robert is the mess. He's the problem. He's the one that needs to get fixed. I don't need to do any of that.
Right.
But she was humbled at some point when she realized that she needed to work herself and has healed a ton from that as well, and has gone through her own journey. We all have our own journeys. You have your own journey, your spouse does, you have your own journey, your partner has their own journey. Same way, we all have our own thing going on.
Right.
So I gotta agree with that, man, because it makes sense. The way that you explained it makes sense, and you've got your personal experience that kind of testifies to that story, and I've got a little bit myself.
And you said it right. It humbles you. Like when I got out of that relationship where I was doing all that, like, and even to this day, I take a step back and I'm like, huh, I could have handled that differently. I could have asked questions. I could have tried to understand.
Yeah.
And who knows, but instead of just blaming that other person, that relationship failed, and it is what it is. But why not take the time if you really want to make it work with somebody? Try to understand them. Why are they doing what they're doing? Like, why is that happening? Why are they, let's say, not happy with me? Why? What can I do? But again, it takes two.
Yeah, and I think you guys both have good points. Like, I see where you guys are coming from. And I think my response to was to your question, which I forgot what the original question was.
Right. No, I diverted from the question.
I think
from question.
Right.
I think
It's
though,
not even a
and I want to
question
just
anymore.
revisit that question though, because
became-
it was like something like, how do you keep going, or how do you?
Yeah, what was the question?
How do you get over resentment or something like that?
Yes.
That's what it was.
Right.
How do you let go of the resentment? Because you said, okay. So the thing was, you said men get over resentments quicker. You said something
right.
along those lines.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay, cool. So how do you even do that? How do you get past resentments? If we get rid of it quicker and we handle stuff like that better,
And that's
what do you do to
and
do
that's
that?
exactly what I do. And it's kind of like I tricked myself, but not really. But I painted it in a way that helps me to move forward and still love her
Mm-hmm.
and do my best to work on myself or to make the relationship work by accepting the fact that it's my fault. And she's maybe reacting to something I did because of something I did to her to hurt her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's
So
okay.
that's how
That makes sense.
I try to not feel like, okay, she's the one at fault too.
Right.
It's all my fault. And that's what helps me to keep moving and going forward. Now, I may get depressed. I may get hurt because of the things that may be said. But then again, how do I get over it?
Right.
Remembering that I might have been the one that caused it.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
And again, it's a challenge, bro. It's
That's
not
a heavy load to be
it is a
carrying,
heavy
dude.
load.
It's a heavy load to be
Exactly.
carrying by yourself.
But at the end of the day, bro, it's like, for one, I have God, I have Jesus in my
Right.
life. So a lot of that forgiveness to myself comes from the atonement. But at the end of the day, it's also understanding like I can't control whether she forgives me or not at this point. That's
Yeah.
up to her, and she owns that.
Right.
But I have to do what I can in my power and my will to keep it going.
All right.
And that's what helps me to forgive her or forgive myself.
not hold
or
on to the
not hold on to resentment.
Right.
That makes sense. That's good.
I mean, the damage is done. You have to live with it, whatever. And I get it. You can't control what she does or doesn't do with whether she thinks you're clean and not doing anything anymore or not, that's on her 100%. But yeah, I mean, you just have to make peace with yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, you have to make peace with yourself.
And that's how I, at the end of the day, say, okay, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I can only do what I can to make it work. And what keeps me going forward is thinking that way.
All right.
It's hard though.
It is hard.
That's why I go to therapy.
So maybe this is a good segue to that. How do you guys balance independence? Because that heavy load, you can't dump that back on her, right?
Yeah.
And as men, even women, like you guys, you need time for yourselves. It can't just be your relationship. That can't be the only thing that consumes you. You still need to work on yourself. You still need to have friends. You still need to do things. How do you handle and balance individuality while respecting being in a relationship?
I think it goes down to respect. Like we've said, like if you're at a point in your relationship that you trust your partner and your partner trusts you, I don't think that should be an issue, or that's usually not an issue at all. Because you know, if you trust that person, they trust you, and you want to go and have a guy's night, you're gonna be able to go and have a guy's night, you know, if you want to. And that's up to you, you know. That person's not gonna be worried about what you're doing, what's going on. Like if they are gonna be worried, then that's usually not gonna work, you know. Like if they don't trust you for whatever reason, that's not gonna be usually okay. I don't think you know, in my case, we like there's any trust issues or anything like that. But like most of the time, like, you know, there's like something that I need to do, like I need to do it on my own. You just communicate with that person, like, hey, I'm gonna do this. I want to do this because I want to do something for myself, you know, or I'm gonna do it because I need time for myself or whatever. It has nothing to do with them. You just have to explain to them or communicate with them, because sometimes that's the perception that you get. Or let's say your spouse comes out, hey, I'm gonna go and have a girls' night. But sorry, you're not invited. You're not a girl. You know, like, but so or not even a girls or guys' night. Let's just say they're gonna go do something with whoever.
Yeah.
And you're like, but
get their nails done or something.
right, but like, but you're like, but I could go. Like, why can I come? You know, like, nah. Like sometimes you just have to remember, nah. They need they need their time. I need my time. It's okay. But again, it comes down to communicating. Like, it has nothing to do with you. I'm not mad at you. It's not. I'm not inviting you because of you. I just need time for myself. But again, you tie down to communication again. You have to communicate and explain why you want to do that, why you need to do that, and also understand if they want to do that. Like, let them communicate with you.
Okay, yeah.
Right. If you just say, hey, let's say Gibrann and I in a relationship, and we're like, hey, Gibrann, I'll be back tomorrow, and I don't tell you shit of where I'm going. Like, that's a different story. You know what I mean? Like,
would you like that if Miguel said that to you?
Gibrann would be like mad, dude. He has anger
can I
issues.
go?
Where you going?
Where you going,
Miguel? Right, but you know what I mean. It's like,
Yeah,
you don't just take off and go and not communicate.
It's respect.
Because then that's not okay. And I know, and maybe in the past I've done it too, and I know I probably have, but that's not okay. Like, why do that? Like, communicate with them. Don't ask for permission, but communicate.
What are some of those things that you feel you can do for yourself to help you, like, in those modes? Because I think as men, we need that. Like, we need anything to be able to do on your own. Do you have anything that you would
for sure
recommend, or something that you would say you enjoy? Like,
sometimes, like, one of the things that I do, like, I don't do a lot of things right now, I guess I would say, at the moment, because most of the things that we do, we both enjoy doing together, and that's totally fine as well, you know. But like, sometimes, like, there's one of my friends, one of my best friends, that I don't see very often, and we try to arrange almost every month to see each other, and it usually doesn't happen because of life. But that's one of the things, like, you know, I might hang out with him and we're gonna go out for dinner, and we do that every now and then, you know, or with whoever, or hey, like, let's say on the weekends, like, she's still in bed or whatever, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go out there and I'm gonna go play some FIFA, you know, just something simple like that. Doesn't have to be anything crazy. Or I might go out and take Lola for a walk, just me, you know, me and Lola, just because sometimes you just need to gather your thoughts. So just, it doesn't have to be crazy things. It could be something super simple like that. So
That's good. I like that, man.
you?
I feel like I think you hit. I mean, you checked every box with what you just said, and dang it, we can stop right now.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Toca la campanita. Honestly, man, we're in a solid place where I feel like I can have that conversation and be like, hey, like I'm gonna do something, or I'm gonna go for a run. Like you said, it doesn't have to be anything too crazy. I'm gonna go for a run. I'll be back, and it's fine, you know. So it's just the communication piece, like you said. I think it's important to just communicate and make sure that you're being honest with that, because everyone, and I, you know what, we actually had this conversation yesterday, not that things were going crazy with the kids or anything, but I'm like, I think we need to have like a code word when you're just fed up, you know, and you just need
Pizza.
a minute. No, and it's kind of, oh man, that's gonna make me hungry, bro. No, it's kind of like, you know what? I tap out. Like just a simple I tap out.
Yeah.
You know, it's your turn. You know,
Okay.
or like, you know what? I'm like, I just need a break.
Like just fed up with what's happening.
Yeah,
at the moment.
like with the house, with work, just
Okay.
you just feel overwhelmed, right? And you just need time to yourself. And we were like, all right, cool. Like if that happens, just let us know. You know, let me know. I'll let you know. If I just need to tap out and you need to tap in, I'm gonna do whatever the heck I need to do.
Tag team.
Yeah, exactly. And you said that too. You said the right word. It's teamwork.
Yeah.
But like you said, man, just being respectful about it too, not just walking away. Because I used to do that. If I was getting really upset, I would, man, there's a situation that's kind of dawning on me that happened prior to us moving out here. Was we were arguing about something in the car ride on the way home. The kids were in the back, and I got upset. I don't even remember what this was about. But as soon as we pulled into the driveway, I got upset, got out of the car, got into my car, pulled up, and sped off without saying a word.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sucks, bro.
Yeah.
Because then she pulls out and tries to follow me. And the kids are like, what's going on? Where's dad going? What's happening? And I'm like, and I'm through the neighborhood trying to trying to lose her so she doesn't see me, bro. Or doesn't, and I don't even know where the heck I was going. I just needed to get away.
Just need to tag out.
Yeah, I just need to tap out. I never said anything. I didn't communicate that properly.
You just did it.
Didn't communicate.
I just took off, bro.
Communication.
And it was bad, you know, and it hit me after. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
And now you're putting your kids in danger.
Exactly.
Other people in danger. Yourself in danger. Is like, why? When you could have just talked about it.
And that was probably one of the last episodes that I had like that. So this was maybe 2-3 years ago.
But it happens.
Yeah.
It could happen again. But I think right now you have the tools. We all have the tools to kind of prevent it from happening.
Yeah.
But it could happen.
Yeah, it can. Luckily, it hasn't as of right now. But
I don't know if that's real. just say it.
Feels
so
real.
I can't knock on this then, huh?
It might not work.
You're funny, bro. But yeah, man, I think we all need that individuality.
Yeah.
And I think as men too, like we need to spend time with men, because that's helped me a ton, man. Like I've had really close friends that are guys that have helped me through things, and I've been involved in like different men's groups as well, and bro, stuff like that, like going camping with men, or you know, just hanging out, going to lunch, having lunch with somebody, or dinner with another guy or whatever. People that I've met and I've come really close with, and built up like intimate friendships with. That stuff like that has helped me a ton, man. So you know, I'd recommend like if that buddy, your best friend, like if you need to meet with him, hang out with him, man. You know, because I think that's important.
And
bro, you said like man like 20 times.
Man.
Are you sure? It's raining, man. Hallelujah.
But you said it right there. Like, and sometimes that's good for your. Not sometimes. I think that's also a good thing to make your relationship work, because let's be real. When we hang out, because we've hung out, you know, just the three of us. Like we do the podcast, just the three of us, most of the time. But it's like what are we talking about most of those times when we're hanging out? We're talking about most of the time our relationships and how to make those relationships work.
Yeah.
Right? We're
That's a
just
good
getting
point.
another dude's perspective on like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Oh, and it makes you realize shit like,
Just running ideas by each other.
right. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I shouldn't have
Robert's
done
always
that.
got some good ideas.
You do though.
Shoot, when I
You do.
need advice, I go to Robert.
Yep.
No.
He's the advice man. But yeah, I mean, and the
That
girls
ChatGPT.
need that too. Everybody needs that, like, you know, because
Yeah,
when they go on their girls' night, or they hang, or they go to dinner or whatever,
they get that
they're
support.
talking about us. Like, let's be real, they're mostly talking about maybe not us in particular, but like what they're dealing with in their lives.
Sure,
that they
yeah.
need to get off their chest that they cannot talk to us about because we don't understand.
Correct.
You know,
Yeah, there's certain conversations that I feel like we can't always have.
right?
That's a good point.
Going back to your question though, you said something about individualism or
Individuality, like how do you practice
Individuality.
that? How do you balance that and still focus on being respectful in your relationship?
so when I think of that, and I don't know if I got the definition correct, but I'm thinking like if my spouse wants to be herself, then I shouldn't be intervening and trying to course correct her to be who I want her to be.
Okay, that's a good one.
Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is that okay? Because yeah, at first I'll tell you my experience, my personal experience. My spouse was silly. She would maybe she was very lovey dovey, and at some point I regret this so much, bro. I was just like, "You're too lovey dovey." So I told her, and now I wish she was lovey dovey, you know, and things like that. So I've learned now that I shouldn't control who she is. I should actually embrace who she is and appreciate what she brings, the differences, and or if not the similarities, but most of the time differences to the relationship, because it's not good to be with someone that's just like you. I think I don't know. I like now I look at it and I embrace it, and I like the differences.
Yeah.
So if she's more calm and I'm more hype, or now she's more hype and I'm more calm. Like and when we go out, she's usually the hype one. She gets the social game going and the activities and all that. Um but yeah, I shouldn't have controlled her that way. And I realized I'm like, dang, I freaking again look back at what I've done in the past. And so that was one example, right? And then the other, she's silly. And I love when she's silly now because I laugh at it or we laugh together about it. But me trying to say, oh, you look dumb doing that, or you're embarrassing me or something like that. I don't know if I said that, but I kind of might have come off that way in the ways that I've said it in the past. And now she kind of is very conscious about it herself. What do you call it?
Confidence.
Her confidence, self-confidence goes down because of that.
Mhm.
And I've now heard her in a way that is emotionally, but also just it impacted her in that way. So if that's what we're talking
I
about,
hear that.
then guys who are out there starting a new relationship, don't really look at the defects of your spouse or your loved one or your partner.
Look
Instead,
what's-
embrace them. And
I think they should be looked at as strengths,
Exactly.
not
Right.
defects, but strengths.
'Cause
I love that you
That's
said
what
that.
attracted you to them, first of all. Maybe at the beginning, some of those
yeah,
things.
like
Her
exactly.
silliness.
When I first met her, like I thought
That's
she
what you
was
liked.
hilarious. But then as we got together and married each other, then I thought, okay, she's mine. Now I'm gonna control her.
Right.
And bro, oh my gosh, I look back now and I'm like, what an idiot. Wish I could go back and smack myself in the face.
But you didn't know what you didn't know. So now you fix it.
Yeah. So now it's just like, so that's the thing, right? And that's one of the things that I've learned in some marriage classes that I've gone to is like, what have you and your spouse sat down and wrote down the things you love about each other? If not, that's a great exercise to do. Just write down all the things you love about each other
I like that.
and then read it to each other.
I
'Cause-
love what you said. Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say because that's gonna just help you to not focus on anyone's defects or weaknesses or differences
whatever.
or just things that you don't like about them or things that they don't do right or whatnot. You instead focusing more on the things you like about them, the strengths they have, and things like that.
I love that, dude. My wife is super silly and very social and just out there, and I was never like that. So two people exactly the same, I think, are super boring. You know, now that looking back and all this time that I've been in my marriage, like I've stepped out of my boring shell with her like just being the person that she is, because she'll just randomly like the other day, last week, we were she was getting ready for her soccer game and she was listening to music and just started dancing, bro. Like we can hear the music over the thing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to dance too. And we're both kind of like dancing just right there, bro. Like as she's getting ready for her game, So I was never like that. And I was very similar in that sense. I don't know if I ever, please correct me and tell me if I ever did tell you to not do something, but um I was the mindset was exactly the same, just kind of like chill out, but I maybe never said that, but it's a strength, man. Yeah. It's a strength, and that's what makes them them. Exactly. That's what makes them who they are. That's why other people gravitate towards them, right? Because of those characters. You said something that I think would lead into a great question is, if you could go back in time and slap the shit out of yourself back then, what would you say after that slap? Or maybe even before the slap? Maybe you don't have to slap that person, your old self, but like, what kind of a piece of advice would you give a young Gibrann or a young Miguel? Even me, I got to think about that, a young Robert. Like, if you could go back in time and say, hey, like, you need to get your shit together. What can you say? What would you say?
I probably would say something like, stop being so self-centered and focus on the person in front of you. And yeah, and Gibrann hit a good point on that. It's like, you start telling them that like, oh, that's stupid, or you look dumb, or whatever. And that person psychologically or subconsciously is putting that part of their personality locked in a box that you'll never open again. Mm-hmm. And they're never going to bring it out again in front of you, but they'll bring it out in front of everybody else because that's still them. They're just not in front of you. Sure. And it happens both ways. It happens them towards us and us towards them, because I can think of things that, have been said to me that I'm like, well, I don't want to do that again. I don't want to look stupid anymore. So then I stop being myself as well. And that's not okay. So I would say that to myself. I'd be like, stop being self-centered. Look at the person in front of you, embrace their strengths and help them with their weaknesses and work on yourself. I don't think there's a time machine that we can do that in, but
I think Apple's they're creating a teleport.
Oh yeah, teleport. You said that, but I don't know. I haven't seen it. But yeah, that's probably what I would say.
That's a good one.
You're probably like, let's make a song.
I got a song for you. Here are the lyrics.
If I could go back and talk to myself in the past, I would probably write out a list of all the things that would happen if I continue on doing what I'm doing, and how that's impactful to my spouse, my kids, my future self, and see if that makes sense to my past self. Because I was stubborn as freak when growing up.
Do you think that your stubborn self would have listened to it?
That's what I'm saying, bro. I don't even know.
Probably not.
But like, get out of here, old man.
Yeah,
like,
shut up.
Yeah. Who the hell are you?
You're not me.
You got fat.
Yeah, for real.
What about you?
I think of Back to the Future, man.
Oh, dude, I love those movies.
Do you remember when they had the almanac of all the different teams that have won?
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
I would try to find something like that.
Oh, dude.
Here you go, dude. Dodgers win the World Series. Oh my gosh, man. It's not all about you. I think that's one of the biggest things that I would say. Like, the world doesn't revolve around you. Because for a long time, I thought it did. Mm-hmm. For a very long time, man. I did a lot of stupid things, and I acted a certain way, thinking that the world revolved around me, and I hurt a lot of people, and I put my parents through a lot, and I've put past relationships through a lot as well. Not just my wife, but even before that, people that I dated prior to her. I was very selfish and used people, man. Like, it's not about you, man. I think that would be one of the biggest messages that I would try to relay. Like, it's not about you. Like put other people first, man.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, but who knows if I would listen? I'd probably be shook for a second, and then knowing me back then,
Right.
probably be back at it. But
Probably like, wait, was that real?
Yeah.
Was that really me?
What did I smoke?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this was good shit. I want some of that.
Oh man.
But as we're getting ready to close up here, this topic we can go on forever.
Yeah,
Like,
we still gotta talk about a whole bunch of other stuff.
if you guys want, we can do a part 2 on it. Send us your guys' questions. If you guys have anything to ask us or anything that you guys would like us to discuss. But I wanted to ask you guys before we close up, like, what would be one, if you could give people out there that are either in relationships now or will be or have been, whatever, whoever's listening, what is one piece of advice or one tip that you guys would give them of things that you guys have learned from your relationships that you would let people know, like a tip you would give them to make sure that they have a better or more successful relationship? Anything you guys
That's hard.
would like to share? I don't know, it makes us think.
There's so many good tips.
There are a ton of good tips, I think, because we've all, I think, have learned a lot.
Right.
I mentioned a few already.
Yeah.
And let me clarify something. We're not relationship experts. We're not no Dr. Phil here. Like we have a lot of things that we do wrong still, and you know that we're working on.
I even wondered too, like the experts or the relationship gurus, like
most of those guys are divorced too.
How are their relationships? Like I would want to know. Like
they probably don't even have one, but who knows? But if you guys have tips for us as well, let us know.
Write it in the comments.
Yeah, or things that you guys want to share with everybody.
For you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody told us one time in a comment,
that's a better wording. What has worked for you that you guys would like to share with the world?
You were saying something, comment?
Somebody left us a comment one time saying, "Oh, you should just let your wife go."
Oh yeah, but
I was like, no,
those are haters.
That's not the answer.
That's not the tips we want.
That's not the answer.
We want things to work.
If that worked for you, then great.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you have to if it's like a unhealthy, abusive relationship.
Sure. Yeah. I think there are situations
there's times that the best thing is to walk away.
Yeah.
But not always. And that's not what we're focusing on here. So
yeah.
Lead by example, I think, is a good one.
Okay.
I think as men, then we have to we are essentially leaders in the home and leading by example and leading from the front and not being a dictator.
Okay.
For me, that was a big one, man. Like not telling people what to do and it being a teamwork. We're a team, man. That's you're a team. Like work together, communicate as much as possible and be the first to apologize. That was a big one for me too.
That's like 5 tips right there.
I know. Sorry,
It was supposed to be one. Now you took all of them.
Yeah, I don't have any.
I'm telling you.
Now I don't know what to say.
Dang, sorry,
just
guys.
repeat what he said.
Shit, now I have to think again.
Rewind. Just edit that out.
Oh man, you go, Miguel. So you can take my answers.
Yeah. All right. Let me not take that. No, one thing that I would say, one of the biggest things, and this kind of goes back to the question you asked, like, what would I tell my younger self as well? I would say this to myself too: is learn how to communicate. Communicate. Like I cannot stress it enough. Like, and again, I've said it in previous episodes. I am not the best communicator. It's something that I'm still currently working on. I think I've gotten much better at. But back in the days, dude, communication was non-existent. So that doesn't work. You need to communicate. So again, communicate. Communication's key. Good communication, bad communication, it doesn't matter. If it's bad news, deliver them. If it's good news, deliver them. It doesn't matter because they're going to find out the news no matter what. And it's going to be worse if they find them out from somebody else than from you. So communication's key. That would be my tip for everybody.
Bro, that was like my biggest flaw.
No, I thought you were going to say that's what I was going to say.
I was going to say. You took my answer. No, bro, that was good. That was a good one, though. All right. So I was thinking hard, like, what can I say that you guys haven't said yet? And one of the things that came to my mind, and this is me personally, right? I can only share my personal experiences, is leaving pride out of your relationship.
That's a big one.
Take pride and just throw it away, because it's gonna make you deceive yourself and how you look and your perception on your relationship, on your spouse. And so throw that out the door. The other thing is be loyal.
Mm.
And if you can't be loyal, be honest. So those are the top 3 things. Don't have pride, be honest, and be loyal.
I like it.
I'm not the only one that didn't do just one.
I know.
I did 3.
I guess I should have done more.
I said the 3 you guys didn't say. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but that was good. That was good. I think we've covered a lot of good things.
Covered a piece of just a
piece,
iceberg.
man. That's the tip of the iceberg.
Tip of the iceberg.
Oh yeah.
So I like that you said, like, please, like, viewers, let us know. Thank you for watching. But if you want us to do a part 2, even if you want us to answer specific questions or address anything in specific, we're totally open to that.
Right.
For real.
So just let us know. Anything to close?
I think just again, I hope everybody, if you're in a relationship or you're struggling in a relationship, hopefully you took some good things from this. Again, like Robert said, like we've said, let us know if there's anything that we can answer for you guys or help with. We're not relationship experts by any means, but if you took anything from our stories, from previous episodes that you guys want us to dig deeper into, let us know. But yeah, that's thank you guys all for your support. Hit that like button, subscribe. I know that's not what we're doing this for, but it does help us to keep going.
Get the message out.
Yeah. And to get it out to more people. Exactly. So share it with everybody.
Toca la campanita.
Toca la campanita.
Ding ding.
But yeah, that's it.
100 subscribers. When we get there, reminder, we're still doing that raffle. And that little gift basket that we're gonna put together. So as soon as we hit that 100, we'll do that for you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You want to close out or any closing thoughts? I have one.
Go ahead, man.
Go
you
for
take
it.
care of it.
All right. So I want to just say that people think love is always happiness or pink roses and rainbows. And I honestly think love has different spectrums, right? You may have those moments where you're happy with your spouse or your loved ones, but you may also have moments where there's sadness in play, and or bouncing back from that, right? And how much you love and be able to forgive someone. It requires love to be able to get there. And even in the example of Jesus Christ or God, he gave his son as a sacrifice, as love for his children. So there's love in no different spectrum, in a whole large spectrum. And so I just wanted to make sure that everyone listening to this, and even myself, is that if you're going through pain, you're enduring that pain through love for the person that you have. And that's what I'm going through right now. Like I'm wanting to get hit with whips and spiked whips in my back just so I could be with the person I love. Carry the cross wherever I need to go, just because I'm willing to still try to make it work with my spouse.
That's awesome.
So yeah, just remember that love is not always high.
All right.
There's ups and downs to
There's
it.
lots of lows. I think there might be more lows than highs at times. Before you close us out, I had a final thought.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we are gonna need a part 2.
I know. Dude.
We are gonna need a part 2.
But
we'll
when
have
you
a
said
part
that, love is not always rainbows and sunshine or
Unicorns.
whatever it was. Unicorns. One of those magical creatures.
Flowers.
No, I saw something the other day, and I was hoping to bring it to the table when we did this episode, but it's very true. A relationship, we always hear, is like, oh, a relationship should be 50-50. It shouldn't be 50-50. It cannot be 50-50. I saw this and it made me think like, oh yeah, that's right. There's gonna be days.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and you probably do because we've probably seen it. But
I think you told me too.
yeah, like there's gonna be days that you're gonna be at a 10%.
Yeah.
And then you have to tell your spouse or your partner, like, hey, I'm at a 10. Like you're gonna have to carry that weight. You're gonna have to bring 90. Or what are you at? Like you're a 50, okay? Like, but it's not always 50-50. It's okay if one person is carrying more of the weight at times than the other.
Or maybe you didn't tell me that.
Then there's gonna be other times that
It's a video. I
it is a video. Yeah.
No, I heard.
we might post it if we find it, but yeah, the way that the lady explained it makes a lot of sense. So I'm gonna see if we can find it, but
I heard it different. It's like it's not 50-50. It's 100-100.
I've heard that too.
You got to give all your
but
effort
you're not
to the
that's
relationship.
the thing, but you can give it all your effort, but you're not always gonna be at 100%.
And you're not. Yeah. So
Sometimes
that's
your
where
tank
you
is
make up.
Emotionally, mentally, physically, whatever, you might be at a 20, at a 30. You might be at an 80 one day, but your spouse is at a 20 because they're going through something. Like, be there for them. Don't expect them to be at a 50 because you're at a 50. Like, that's
But the
not how it works.
communication is key.
100%, yeah.
Because if you're not telling somebody that you're at a 20 and you're
They're
just
not gonna know.
expecting them
Right.
to pick up the other percentage there,
Yeah.
you know, that's where resentment kind of comes
Yeah.
in sometimes. So
Again,
yeah, let's find that video.
We
man.
could
That's
do
a good
a
one.
we could do a
I think we should do
A
a
whole
part two.
nother
part two
segment,
on
part
this,
2,
yeah.
3, and 4. Whole
All right,
series.
y'all. Well, thank you so much for
Okay,
being
guys.
here with us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all the support and all the love. And we'll see y'all soon.
thank
See you guys.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
Stay connected with us on all your favorite social media platforms for even more Bros and Balance content. Catch us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify, where we'll share exclusive behind-the-scenes moments, bonus content, and exciting updates related to health, wellness, and brotherhood. To ensure you never miss an episode or an update, make sure to subscribe and follow us at Bros and Balance. Dive deeper into the world of balance with us.